Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Meerkat Musings. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, where I present to you a meerkat which is completely unlike me in every way, shape, or form. For one, I'm not very muscular. Second of all, I haven't mastered the art of projecting energy balls out of my hands, which would be quite useful in various circumstances, not least of all to deal with irritating days. Such as, for example, almost any given day. Sometimes it feels, certainly of late. But you know what? I also feel like the biggest stressful patch of recent times has ebbed away at long last. You may recall I mentioned sickness and puking and all manner of rather unpleasant situations, and I'm glad to say those situations are now more or less behind us, I think. Although my daughter, bless her, she now has a persistent cough. It's not like a hacking cough, it's just the occasional but it's quite consistent, and it's the kind of thing that after a while it drives me absolutely up the bloody wall. I know she can't help it, but I can't help that. It's the kind of thing which just it gets right under my skin, and it does drive me mad. And the last time this happened, it seemed like no amount of cough medicine or anything like that would actually do the trick in helping her, which, it dragged on for a while until she did eventually manage to sort of stop of her own accord. But there was a saga where it really was driving me absolutely up the wall. And I hate that because, I'm having a moan about something that she can't control. But, I can't control the fact that it also drives me absolutely up the wall. So hopefully this does not persist the way that the last couple of persistent little coughs have persisted. But anyway, as I say, I think the worst of the situation is over. She's not puking anymore, thank God. And my wife seems to be on the mend as well. How am I in all of this? Well, I don't feel quite so stressed anymore. I mean, at one point I was getting really quite, just like everything was making me really snarl. It seemed like everything was conspiring to kind of grind my gears. There are still a few things with work which are certainly doing that. There are things which I just have to kind of just cope with, really. I'm an adult, and adults have to cope with these things, don't they? We have to just kind of grit our teeth and get on with things. But in the midst of all of this, I have found the time to have a little bit of fun over the last few days. I got a new tattoo, which you can see on my website, www.meerkatmusings.co.uk. Look out for the most recent Meerkat Muse, and you will see my tattoo. It's right at the very end of the post, in case you're wondering. I wasn't going to show it off in that Muse cycle, actually, where it was kind of brand new, but I brought that forward. I thought, you know what, why not? We'll just, we'll have a look. And so that was done. We also saw, my wife, daughter and I we've seen a few films, actually, of late, mostly on TV. We saw The Marvels, which I thought was very entertaining. Five Nights at Freddy's, which I thought was okay. It was better than I expected it to be. And we also went to the cinema to see Argyle, which is like a kind of spy espionage thriller thing. Quite a lot of fun, quite bonkers, to be honest, but definitely worth a watch. And then we went and had Chinese food at an all-you-can-eat Chinese restaurant, and that always goes down really, really well, even if I overindulge quite tremendously on that sort of thing. In the meantime, I've also discovered that my first book, The Awakening, is now available to buy via the Amazon store as a Kindle ebook. So if you happen to have a Kindle, you can now download it straight to your Kindle. So that's quite nice. That is The Awakening by Ben Berwick. If you Google that, you will find it. But I will try and include a link to that in the video. And my second book is still pending, of course. It goes live on the 29th of February. Fontana and Istalor will be hitting the Kindle store on that date. So lots of things happening for me book-wise. A few things are not happening for me book-wise because I'm still waiting for my laptop to come back from repair. The last update on that was that it was kind of, if I can better word, awaiting a new keyboard to arrive from overseas. The keyboards that they had on site to use for the repair were not doing the job. So it's to do with model numbers overlapping or something like that. So I'm having to wait a little bit longer before I can crack on with new material. But the sequel to The Awakening is the material that I particularly want to focus on, which I cannot yet do, of course, until I get the laptop back. To be fair, I could actually use the laptop that we recently found that was buried somewhere in the house. But the issue with that laptop is it doesn't have particularly great battery life, and the power socket on the laptop itself, it doesn't connect properly. Therefore, you can't charge the battery properly, and you can't use it whilst plugged in because, as I say, it doesn't connect properly. So there's a few issues with that laptop. I could use it in theory. I can get it charged, so I could use it in short bursts. But the whole time, I'd just be conscious of the fact the battery doesn't hold up properly. And because I'm using like the whole, cloud drive thing, or OneDrive, or whatever it is, I could actually carry on my story from where it left off. I could carry on as that file is saved to the cloud. But I don't know, I just would rather have the laptop back from repair and just feel more comfortable with that. We'll have to wait and see on that particular score as to when I get my beloved laptop back. The other reason I want my laptop back is so I can carry on playing Football Manager and carry on with my journeyman career saga, which is underway and hopefully doing quite well. So with all of that said and done, I'm in a better place, I think, than I was this time last week, where everything was sort of trying my nerves. Of course, there's bound to be other things trying my nerves over the course of the next few days. There always is. Also, it feels lately. But just got to grin and bear it sometimes, haven't you? And just take each and every day as it comes. And then you'll see where you land, so to speak. Anyway, that's enough of rambling from me for this little brief video. I hope you all stay well. I hope that you stay dry in this lovely rainy British weather that we have. And I look forward to rambling at you all again in the very near future. Take care.